How's it going, guys? I'm here to review A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, 1985.
Someone is coming back to Elm Street. He is not friendly. He is not patient.
Kill for me.
This movie is a direct sequel to the Nightmare on Elm Street 1984 classic. This movie is actually not directed by Wes Craven. Pretty much all the other sequels after the original one, except for Wes Craven's New Nightmare, so all the other sequels are not directed by Wes Craven. Different directors, different talented producers, and just it's all distributed by New Line Cinema still. That's what I'm trying to say, but different directors. And this film kind of takes place, I'm assuming, a little bit years after the original one, and it doesn't really have any returning characters like Nancy Thompson from the original movie. This is like a brand new cast, brand new characters. Of course, Robert Englund is back as Freddy Krueger, but he has a different agenda or a different plan in this movie. Yes, they do like refer some stuff that happened in the first one, but that's all I can say. They don't really quite bring back the characters from the first one, but so our main protagonist is named Jesse. Jesse's actually experiencing some night terrors. Every time he wakes up, he's drenched in sweat. And obviously, it has something to do with the nightmares with Freddy Krueger on Elm Street. And him and his parents are actually living in the same house that Nancy Thompson actually lived from the last movie, the same house. But what Nancy didn't know from the last movie is that is actually the house of Freddy Krueger. And if I didn't explain this in the last review, Freddy Krueger is pretty much known as a child murderer, and he was known for like killing every child, or he killed every child from each family on Elm Street. And one night, I guess a band of parents decided to just kill Freddy Krueger for his crimes because I guess when he went to the court and the court system convicted him as innocent, so he went free. The parents got mad, so that's when they decided to just fuck shit up. They just Freddy Krueger was in his hideout. They chased after them, and eventually they burned him. Pretty much, he was in some kind of an abandoned building, and then they just threw like, of course, they have those alcohol bottles and then like little muzzle tops. I call it from Call of Duty, but pretty much they just burned him alive, like while he was in the building, and kind of for revenge for killing their children. Going back to this main plot, he has plans for Jesse. He wants to be, I guess, reincarnated, or he wants to possess Jesse to do his own work. So Freddy Krueger is telling Jesse to kill for him, so pretty much he can like possess him, so that way Jesse can do Freddy's work, continue his legacy. It's kind of complicated. I don't know why Freddy Krueger is just not killing teenagers in their dreams like in all the other movies, but this one is this movie's considered the black sheep of the franchise for that reason. Freddy Krueger's not just killing kids in their dreams, but he's actually using them as a reincarnation or to like possess them according to his will. I don't know what were they going with this the script, but it's different. That's what I can say. So as Jesse is having like evil influences from Freddy Krueger to kill his friends, his girlfriend Lisa is trying to persuade him, telling him that you're not crazy, that you have to fight it, you have to fight the power, you have to fight the will, you have to fight Freddy so that way you can actually be yourself, Jesse, right? But this movie has a lot of metaphors for homosexuality in this movie. It's all covered in this movie. That's why this movie is known for that. Yes, there is a scene where Jesse's literally making out with his girlfriend Lisa, and then he literally had some kind of like the Freddy power over him, where he has a huge disgusting tongue licking all over her. So he was so shocked that he actually just left her. He ran away, and he just went to his bro's room, and he was just like, "Hey bro, I need to sleep. I need to sleep in your room, bro." Even his friends like, "Dude, what are you doing? A girl is like literally like opening herself up to you literally, and you're just gonna sleep with me." I don't know, like homo like sexuality stuff like that, where you can see what they were trying to go for this movie, where Jesse is really releasing his inner demon, and then the inner demon is really his repressed homosexuality. I think that's what the movie was trying to go for. That's the theme for this movie. But did it work as a Nightmare? Like, it works probably just by itself as a horror movie, but for a Nightmare on Elm Street movie, in my opinion, it probably didn't work.
Visitor.
No!
But he has something terribly special for the new kid on the block.
It started to happen again.
So of course, like I said, it's up to Jesse and Lisa, especially Lisa, to try to persuade Jesse to go back on the good side, and it's up to Jesse to fight his inner Freddy Krueger demon. Because Freddy Krueger is obviously trying to control his body, trying to control his life, trying to possess him, and to do he's trying to persuade Jesse to do his evil bidding. So that's pretty much the plot of Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge in a nutshell. And again, before I get canceled from the internet, there is nothing wrong with being gay. I'm just saying this is what the movie was trying to go for, the theme. If you're trying to like take it the wrong way, I don't take it the wrong way. That's what the movie was trying to go for. I'm just reviewing the movie. So please calm down, guys. But yes, anyways, this movie is the black sheep of the franchise. Is it considered the best? I wouldn't say so, but there are some scenes that are pretty creepy, that are pretty disturbing, that are like, it's more serious than the other sequels, or than the other later sequels. I'll give it that. It's more dark, it's more disturbing, but is it still one of the better Nightmare on Elm Street movies? Okay, in my humble opinion, yes, it is one of the better Nightmare on Elm Street movies, but I can still see why a lot of people don't like this sequel. Personally, I think this movie's just alright. It doesn't suck, but at the same time, it's not one of the better sequels. It's just okay. It's pretty average for a horror movie that talks about repressed homosexuality and the theme of that it's going for. I praise it that. But at the same time, I feel like it does not work in a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. It's because it just doesn't work. Because Freddy's just known for killing teenagers in their dreams, just more straightforward, and of course you'll get more interesting ideas in the later sequels. But this movie, it didn't work in my opinion. It's just not really that good. Personally, yes, the plot didn't work. The characters are well written. They're well developed. The score is good. Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger is still terrifying in this movie as always, or just in the first 4 movies, in my opinion, because after the 4th one, he gets a little silly. But yes, he still plays, he does his best. He nails it as the iconic Freddy Krueger role. Yeah, like I said, the characters are pretty well developed. The score is good. The plot is the only thing that I just don't like about this movie. The plot is kind of like, it's different, but it's not executed well, and it doesn't work for the Nightmare on Elm Street movie. Just not. There's also a lot of cheesy scenes, like Jesse cleaning his room with the 80s disco music in the background. That was kind of cheesy, but funny at the same time, because you don't see that every day in a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. But yes, I enjoy this movie for what it is. But I know it's really not a really good Nightmare on Elm Street movie. It's a pretty average sequel, kind of mediocre at the same time. So yeah, if I have to give this movie a rating out of 10, I would give this movie a 6.5 out of 10. It's all right as its own horror movie, but especially like I said with the theme they're going for. But for a Nightmare on Elm Street sequel, it really, especially after the first movie, it's really it's a huge downgrade. It's a huge step down in my opinion. So that was my quick review of A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, 1985. Please leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Freddy Krueger is back on Elm Street.
Get out of here, Lisa!
Jesse, fight him!
Watch out for him. He'll be in your neighborhood soon. A Nightmare on Elm Street, Part 2.
You are all my children now.
Freddy's Revenge.